The military is stockpiling MREs, meals ready to eat, for World War III. But are these really of any use to the average civilian? Today we're going to talk about some things that you probably didn't know about MREs. Let's talk about it. Hi folks, Canadian Prepper here, back again with my buddy Steve Syros of the Freeze Dry Wholesale Company, the world's foremost producer of wholesale freeze-dried food. This is the guy that's loading up the government bunkers for continuity of government when the apocalypse hits. I don't know if that's going to make you love him or hate him, but you also cater to the civilian population now.
We do. Yep. Everything we do for the government's now available to the public.
So you have two different types of food that you sell. You sell the freeze-dry wholesale stuff, and then you also sell the MREs. So what's the difference between these two things? Because they're different use cases. Guys like me who are constantly talking about the benefits of hoarding freeze-dried food, we often overlook the MRE, the tried and true MRE. Why is it that we don't just throw a bunch of bags of these to the guys out there in the field, in the military? Why are we giving them MREs instead of these?
Main difference between the two is shelf life. These are fully prepared, ready to eat, tear open and go. These require a little bit of work if you want to rehydrate.
So shelf life, what are we looking at here?
25 years plus, really indefinitely. As long as this remains protected from oxygen and moisture, it'll outlive you and I. These military will give you 3 to 5 years. Reality is probably 10 to 15, depending on how you store them. Because these are fully cooked, moisture in, it's very similar to a can. In fact, they call it a flexible can. I've seen some go 20 years.
That's the retort packaging.
Exactly, that's what it's called.
So we're gonna bust some of this stuff open. We're gonna do a lot of different taste tests today. We're gonna show you guys some of the stuff that you can get. So these things are meant to be dropped from airplanes, right?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Okay, we're gonna try something. I heard if you do this properly, and the weather is just right, and the stars are aligned, this is gonna work. It actually worked.
Wow.
Look at that. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of 3 of the 72-hour first strike ration. We don't have the heaters in here like you do with the MREs.
They're not needed. Yeah, these are designed for the first 3 days of combat, hence the name first strike ration.
And so let's just go over what we have here. So we have some chicken breast fillets. We got some applesauce, cinnamon bun, cheddar cheese, pretzels, that sounds good.
Yep.
Some lemon flavored fruit juice, raisins. We have our orange energy gel, peanut butter dessert bar, multigrain snack bread. Yep. This is a fully cooked, filled wrap, shelf stable, seasoned beef with Mexican style spices. Sounds pretty good. Cheesy jalapeno spread, first strike mocha flavored bar, teriyaki beef stick, so a bit more protein there. This is kind of cool. We got energy gum, so there's 100 milligrams of caffeine in each piece of gum, creamer for our coffee. We got a pack of matches, some sugar. We got some freeze-dried coffee. You only get 1 cup of coffee. And I can't forget, of course, the classic Tabasco sauce. I don't think we mentioned that.
Still going strong. That was in the original C rations and still being used in MREs today. So remember, this being a first strike ration is a little bit different than a traditional MRE where you would get a traditional meal. These are going to be pretty good. They make them taste really good. But
these are cheddar cheese pretzels.
Basically, they're like combos if you're familiar with them.
It's actually really good.
Isn't it?
I'm gonna have another one of these. These are actually damn good. Let's check out the cinnamon bun. This looks like a
strudel. Yes.
Strudel. So I'll break a piece off here.
Yeah, I want some of that. Thank you.
You know, it's perfectly edible. As generic as it gets.
You're not going to write home about that. In a disaster scenario, an MRE is really good for being portable and easy. You know, with a freeze-dried food, you're going to have to create some heat, boil some water, maybe make some smoke, and you might not want to do that. A bug-out bag scenario where you just want to move and eat on the fly. These are fantastic. I usually say they're your first and your last foods you go to in a disaster.
That's a really good point, because cooking food in a disaster environment, people's senses are going to be more heightened, and they're going to be able to smell what you're cooking from miles away. So you got to keep that on the low.
Plus, it'll slow you down. You know, you maybe need to get somewhere quickly.
Peanut butter dessert bar. Man, we're getting spoiled today. This one was airdropped, so
not bad.
You can tell.
It's like a protein bar, I think, right?
It tastes like almost like a chocolate bar. Like almost like Reese's Pieces.
That is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Anything with meat, of course, everybody's always going to be a bit more apprehensive, right? So this is the wrap. Fully cooked, filled wrap, shelf stable, unheated.
Yeah, eat it cold.
Or how confident are you in this one?
I'm confident enough to let you take the first bite.
Oh, shit.
Smells pretty good, actually.
It's actually better than I thought it would be.
What is
I'm not a big fan of like mesquite barbecue, but if I'm getting shot at, you know, and I haven't eaten in a few days.
I love that. I might use that. If I'm getting shot at, I'd eat this.
Yep, absolutely. Let's try the mocha flavored First Strike bar. Break a piece. Oh, this one's like, that's actually really good. It's almost like an Eat More. You know, Eat More chocolate bar?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's an old one.
Moment of truth.
Beef stick.
Teriyaki beef stick.
It's all yours.
Oh, yeah? You're not a
It's all
fan of
yours.
these?
No, I'm not a Slim Jim kind of guy.
Oh, okay, so that's all it is?
I think so.
This is Grayson Natural Farms Teriyaki beef stick.
Teriyaki?
That looks pretty predictable.
I bet that's good.
You know, I mean, I'm not scared of this.
No.
Yeah.
Beef stick.
A lot of salt, but
Yeah.
I like salt. So this is beverage-based powder, tropical punch. That's very government speak.
Yes.
Okay, so let's crack it open. I think this is pretty straightforward. If you screw this up, you're gonna die if there's a war.
They make milkshakes. They make some pretty good drinks, so
Blood sugar is gonna spike right away here.
dig in.
All of this is taking me back to like elementary school, you know.
It's institutional
This
food.
is what, yeah, institutional food. Yeah,
That's the difference.
This is what they fed us in the projects. It's actually pretty good. It tastes like fruit punch.
You say MRE and people think of a
Meal
brown
ready
little
to eat.
meal bag. Yep.
Yep.
It also encompasses what they call squad meals or tray packs. And this is basically an MRE for a squad. 12 to 20 people. It's typically prepared in a field kitchen in the field.
If you had a family and you wanted to have an MRE for a family, you might get a few of these to replace the bigger MREs.
Yeah, you can get lasagna, side dishes, entrees,
Okay.
burger patties,
And how would they
meatloafs.
heat that up?
Typically, the military would do it in tray racks. 2 of these goes in a standard tray rack. Typically, what you see at a buffet, you would fit 2 of those in one of those. But for home,
Just like a plastic?
yeah.
And so this is sealed retort all around.
Yep, cooked in here for the shelf life. And then boom,
All right.
messed it up.
So this is a breakfast cake. So this is meant to be a breakfast meal.
Believe it or not, that's actually the equivalent of a pancake for a squad of 12 people.
My kids would dig this. Naomi, she's salivating at home right now.
Get a fork. That's yours. I'll do another one for me.
Oh, you're gonna do a whole other cake for yourself?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. It tastes like a big cookie. The icing is, it's the icing on the cake, as they say.
Well, I mean, when you consider 10-year shelf life, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Taste of home. You're not going to bake a cake on the go.
Everybody else is outside the bunker, banging on the door, gnawing on their own limbs. And you're inside, chowing
Cockroach
down.
stew for dinner.
Yeah, and you're still munching away on your
That's pretty good.
breakfast cake with icing. It's a little bit dry, but I think it's pretty good. I just got to try one more piece.
I almost beat you.
What's next,
I
boss?
think that's done.
Yeah. Whew. Chocolate pudding protein, 220 calories. Here goes nothing.
It's chocolate pudding.
Tastes like pudding, but a little bit grainier because of that
Very
protein.
frosting, almost frosting-like.
If it was this or death, I'd choose this.
It's not bad.
Yep.
Honestly, it's not bad.
That's probably not a good.
Maybe spend your money on the entrees. Yeah.
MREs are always going to be, you know, there's always going to be that one that's kind of weird.
That's the problem.
This
with,
is perfectly, I'm making jokes, but this is
Yeah.
actually not that bad.
No, it's not.
The only reason why I'm going easy on it, I've already exceeded my caloric intake for the day by around 1,000 for this time of day. So
Easily.
let's try the Mexican rice and beans. Yeah, you know what? I'd be rocking a spork in the apocalypse.
That's not a bad idea.
So I think I'm gonna go with the rice and beans.
This kind of variety, without having to cook it, with you literally just shove this in your backpack and go.
So that's what it looks like there.
That's pretty, yeah, that actually looks pretty good.
Oh, spilling it already. If it was heated, it'd be better, but...
Now you're into the entrees where you could actually use a flameless ration heater and 8 or 9 minutes have a piping hot meal.
Yeah, you just drop this in there.
Just an ounce of water. Yep.
Even if I had my metal canteen, pour that in there, add a bit of water.
Yep.
This is actually pretty good. We gotta visualize where we're at when we're eating this stuff, right?
Apocalypse.
Fighting the Russians, fighting the North Koreans, fighting the Chinese. What I always liked is, contrary to like a one entree or one type of food in a freeze dry, is just the versatility and the variety. I mean, you can use a lot of this stuff, not just for eating, but you have some salt here.
That's true.
It's multi-purpose. A lot of this stuff, you have towelettes, you have paper, you have your fire starter, you have bartables in some respects, Tabasco.
Follow Tabasco, we're both recent for. The Natick Labs, who does the research for the military, for the meals, found out was that if they gave the guys and gals 3 MREs, they'd field strip them. 3 MREs are a rather bulky pack, and they might not eat their crackers and cheese. They might only want the dessert, the fast and the easy and the good taste and stuff. So the first couple of days wound up looking like this inside the soldier's pack anyway.
All right, guys. So if you want to get some MREs, go check out MRE Depot.
MREdepot.com.
Is there a coupon code they can use?
Yep, it's a hard one. You might want to put this one in print, Canadian Prepper.
There you go. Pretty easy to remember.
15% off, and that's a lifetime code. All kidding aside, no product exclusions, no expiration date.
In my personal opinion, I would say have at least a 72-hour supply. A lot of this stuff, kids are going to eat it up. Literally.
Good point. Very kid-friendly. That's true.
I mean, not always going to be the healthiest thing, but when we're talking about a 72-hour survival kit.
Yeah, dollars per calorie, variety, and just appeal. I mean, it's going to appeal to a lot of people. I think it's worth it.
And also, don't forget to check out wholesale freeze-dried foods if you want the high-quality, long-term food storage, the best on the market. Thanks for coming out, Steve.
Thanks for having me, Nate.
Great seeing you again.
Good to be here.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, where you'll find high-quality survival gear at the best prices, no junk, and no gimmicks. Use discount code PREPPINGGEAR for 10% off. Don't forget, the strong survive, but the prepared thrive. Stay safe.